What's up, everybody? This is Jam coming at you for another Waves plugin review. We're going through some oldies but goodies so you can catch up. Everything that I'm going to be reviewing is available in the Waves Gold bundle. And today we're going to talk about their guitar effects. They have some amps, some stomps. They're really great. But the best thing about all of them is that you don't have to be a guitar player to use them. So today I'm going to show you some ways that I've used them on guitar, bass guitar, and also vocals. So in front of me, I got a song by Angel Fooney. I recorded the vocals last night, and I did the mix of the guitars yesterday as well. So we're going to go through it. I'm just going to show you what I've done to the guitars using Waves plugins to make them sound wide and big. And then I'll show you how you can use the Stomp guitar plugin to create some cool sounds that might not particularly go with this song, but I'll run through them and you can get creative and wild with it. So the first thing that we're going to do here is take a look at what we got here. We have guitars. Let's pick out. Okay, so I got this guitar here. Go ahead and play that one. Here we go. So this guitar was sent to me as one track. And what I did is I wanted it to be nice and wide and spacey in this song. So I duplicated the track and I added on some really cool stuff here. So we have the True Verb. We have the Q2, which is a Waves EQ plugin. And I've just kind of taken and isolated all the mid frequencies that I really want to be reverbed to get that spacey sound. You don't want all those high tinny bits. And then I've got the True Verb, which just does reverb on isolated lows and mids, kind of cuts out the high. And I've cranked that way up. And then I went in and added a Guitar Stomp too, which is these are the plugins that we're going to be looking at. You have a lot of options. You just click this button here and you can shows you all the ones that come with the gold bundle. There's some really cool stuff in here. I've used this octaver on drums before to kind of get that nasty punchy sound. So this one we're going to be using delay, and I've turned it down so that the time and the feedback is really low. And then I've got it somewhat in the mix, pretty high up. And then we have this reverb stomp on top of the True Verb mono. So I'm going to go ahead and play that, and I will bypass all of these plugins and I'll play it for you and then show you the difference here. So here it is just dry. And then we're going to add these back in. It's the cue. See how it isolated just the mids? Then the True Verb. So it sounds kind of far away and spacey. And then we're going to add the Guitar Stomps. And this is, I'll turn the reverb off. This is just delay. This with the reverb. And you can control the gain right here. So I could turn this up or down in the plugin as well to kind of give it more presence or less. I kind of like this to have a little bit of less presence. Okay, so now that we have that on there, what I've done is I took that and I panned it all like 44% to the left because I didn't want to do a hard pan. I kind of want it to be present. And then I panned this 38% to the right to just kind of make it a little bit more present. And this is the dry guitar on the right and the effects on the left. So here we go. So you have that nice big spacey sound there. So this is what it's like without the plugin. With. And that's just with a track I was sent. So that sounds pretty great. Then another thing I went ahead and did is using the amps. So you have some guitar amps here. This happens to be the direct tube bass. And what I did was I just put it on to create a little bit of oomph in the bass. But as you can see, we have a whole bunch of bass options. We have a whole bunch of guitar, clean, direct, warm drives, high gains. Look how many you got for high gains. These are great for putting some dirt on it. And then this is a really cool, the Neil Citron has extra kind of breath that can leave in and really make your guitars stand out. Another thing that you can use this for is if you're making hip hop or something that has a really, really low sub 808, you can use one of these guitar amps that has a little bit of grit to it so that when you have that heavy 808 and that bass, it will still play on a phone or in little headphones or laptop speakers. You'll still be able to hear that bass. So that's really neat use of this as well that I've found. But this is just the direct tube bass, and I'll go ahead and play you the bass guitar. I'll solo it, and then I will solo play it from the beginning here, and then I will bypass and then put it on. And all I have is a little bit of stock plug-in EQ with my DAW. So I'll go ahead and turn this off, and we'll give it a play. Then I'm gonna put it on. This is off. We have on. So that way you can just tell that the immediate presence of it just up in your face now, where you want it, and it has a little bit more grit so that it'll be able to be heard. So that's really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and go down to the vocals. So we got our vocal right here, and I'm just going to do the first verse because that's the only one I've had a chance to touch up on. So we're going to play that, and I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to turn this off. I found a couple cool things. So what we're using on their vocal, this is my vocal chain here. I used stock EQ that comes with my DAW. The R compressor, I love this thing. If you don't own the R comp, just go buy it. It's absolutely amazing. It works on drums, vocals, anything you can think of. And what I did was I just did like almost a 3-to-1 ratio, a little bit of gain boost, and then, you know, the threshold, because as you can see, there's some peaks in my audio here for vocals. Then the next step on my vocal chain is the Renaissance Axe, which is another compressor plugin that is just makes vocals come right to the front. I mean, it's beautiful for making your vocals fit in the mix, but also get out to you. And then I'm using the Waves Reverb for just a little bit, about 38% of reverb in the vocal. I don't like to overdo it with the reverb. Usually I'll create a bus and have everything go over there, but for the purposes of this video, we're just going to put it right on the dry signal so you can hear it really clear. So that's what I have on it right now. So I'll go ahead and play you just that soloed, and then we will show you the Guitar Stomp. So let me solo this for you. All right, and this is our vocal.
You know I've been thinking about you and wondering if you're gonna be my baby.
Okay, so we got that. And then we're going to go ahead and turn this on. And the one I have on it that's kind of cool is the doubler. But for purposes of reviewing this plugin, I'm going to go through almost all of them so that you can hear how different and cool they all sound. And then we'll put some into the mix. So this is the doubler. There also is a Waves doubler, but this one has kind of a cool effect that isn't so literal on it. So let's play this for you.
You know I've been thinking about you and wondering if you're gonna be my baby.
So cool. Another cool one is putting a chorus pedal on a vocal. You put this chorus pedal on it and blend that in with the regular vocal. That sounds really, really neat.
You know I've been thinking about you and wondering if you're gonna be my baby.
So cool. Another thing that you can do is the fuzz or the buzz. I like the buzz. This is really cool if you're doing like hard rock and you want that distortion underneath the main vocal, but you don't want it to be overpowering and distracting. The buzz one works great for this. So that's really neat. There's a lot of different stuff. You could do like a pitcher. I like the spring reverb as well. I'm going to turn off the other reverb so you can really hear it. Here it goes.
You know I've been thinking about you and wondering if you're gonna be my baby.
So you can play with that and make that sound however you like. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and the wah-wah one's pretty comical. You could probably do some cool stuff with this one.
You know I've been thinking about you and wondering if you're gonna be my baby. You know
So it has an auto and manual setting. So that's really neat. I also use that a lot in bass. The wah-wah pedal, I use that in a bass as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put on that doubler. And then I'm going to add a chorus on top of it and see what that sounds like. And we can go ahead and add that underneath our vocal. And I'll show you what that sounds like.
You know I've been thinking about you and wondering if you're gonna be my baby.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that one on here. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this track. Takes a second because I got a lot of plugins. And I'm going to take the Guitar Stomp off. We're going to move that one. And we're going to leave everything else on. And then I'm going to actually go to my Guitar Stomp one, and I'm going to take off the reverb because we're going to have some reverb in our regular one here. And I'm also going to turn down a little bit on the axe because we don't want that to be present. And then we're just going to play these two tracks together and see how they sound.
You know I've been thinking about you and wondering if you're gonna be my baby.
So you can just get it real slight. And then this is if we take the chorus off. Let's try taking that one off.
You know I've been thinking about you and wondering if you're gonna be my baby. You know I've been watching you as you're growing, and I'm really glad you're someone I know.
So that's just really, really cool. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and play the whole mix for you. Just that section there. I also put on the guitars for the front. I also have the guitar amp on one of them on the cream setting. And that sounds like this. And then I did the same with the panning to pan that one and this one away from the dry. And this is what that sounds like. So that's another cool effect with the guitar amp. I've just drenched this thing in these waves guitar amps. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play it from there, and we'll just play up to the first chorus there. And let me mute these second vocals and I'll let you hear hear that part in the middle. So we're just going to run through the first verse here and then that second verse with all the effects on it, and you should be good to go.
You know I've been thinking about you and wondering if you're gonna be my baby. You know I've been watching you as you're growing, and I'm really glad you're someone I know.
And that's it, folks. Thanks for watching. See you next time.